And he's like, I need to do more. So let me figure it out. So we did the whole 4 week plan. He was doing things on his own. He was learning. He had questions. He'd come in. And then once he'd been here, probably about 6 weeks, I made a list of everything we do, every single task. And I gave it to him and I gave it to the administrative assistant and myself. And I said, grade everything. It's red, it's yellow, it's green. Red, you hate it. Yellow, it's okay. You could
That's
do it.
nice.
Green, you love it. And let's take a look at this and see how we make our days our best days.
That's so great.
And when the really weird thing was, when we looked at the charts, there was not a whole lot of overlap and there was not a whole lot of everybody put this as red. There were actually nothing that everybody had red.
So you had a really good coverage.
So it just, and granted, this would not work every day with every group of people, but what I said from the get-go
It's
is
a framework though. Like it gives you a framework to separate workflows in a smaller organization. Like I think I've never heard that. It's so brilliant. I actually want to come back to that after we're done because
yeah.
I want to see how we can do that in other places.
Yeah. And I will say what I said initially is here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take anything that all of us made red and we're going to divide them up. We're going to say, like the initial plan was, all right, there are definitely going to be things that all three of us have as red. And then we're going to like rank how red they are for us.
Right.
But that didn't.
Like in the traffic, when it's like red, it's bad, but when it's like dark maroon, you're like, I'm fucked up.
Right, exactly. And so I was kind of like, that's what we'll do. But then we didn't need to do it. And so when we split up these lists, there was nobody that had a red.
Yeah.
Now,
That's nice. That's nice. So I'm curious, what are the things that like, so now that you've done that split, right, conceptually speaking or thematically speaking, how did it break out? How did it fall out between the three of you?
so Bill ended up being like he does all of our submissions. He does all the RPPRs. He does all the no cost extensions. He does all the
I'm seeing a
JITs.
theme here of what he likes to do.
He just loved something completely out of his wheelhouse that he had never done before and just loves like the newness of writing a new grant. The only like thing that I would say is specifically post award, he does all of our T&E.
What these things have in common, though, they're all distinct in time. Like if you have an application, done. You have an
Right.
RPPR, done. You have time and effort reports during your certification, done. He has a penchant for those kinds of things thematically. That's really interesting.
Right. So he does all of that. Sue does all of our like participant payment stuff. She does all of our check requests, all of our employee reimbursements. She
Transactional
does,
stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
very transactional stuff. She does our boss's bio sketch. She updates that and her CV.
Into detail. I'm really, I
Um,
love this. I'm so excited by how it's almost like I'm watching a movie play out now. Okay.
yeah. So she does those things, and then I do pretty much everything else, and it's a really big,
You say everything else falls over.
pretty much this big block of insanity. And there were some things within that that could only be me. So, for example, anytime we post a position, only I can post a position.